Hello and welcome to the Spiritual Bible. My name is Lisette, and in this podcast, we explore biblical teachings, but then through a spiritual lens. Or maybe we explore spirituality through a biblical lens, however you want to look at it. Either way, we are here to rethink the Bible beyond what the church traditionally teaches us. And I discuss topics that your average Sunday sermon doesn't cover. And today's topic is the phrase I am. This is something that is used in the Bible, but in the spiritual world, I also saw many people using this phrase. And it confused me because when I hear the words I am, I instantly think about God. So I was like, hey, why are spiritual people using this? And what do they mean with it? How does that work? And if spiritual people using it, Christians are using it, there must be some power behind it. And that is my question for today. What if I am, this little phrase, is the most powerful thing, the most powerful prayer you have ever said? Maybe without knowing it. And what if it is the key to unlocking the divine within you? That is what we are going to explore today. First of all, what does the I am mean in the spiritual world? Well, it is a phrase or a mantra, however you want to call it, that is spoken, sung, or used in meditation or in affirmations. And basically, it helps you to align with your higher self or divine consciousness. And when you say I am, you are not just describing something about yourself, but you're actually activating a creative force. In spiritual traditions, it is believed that the words that you speak after you said I am will become your reality. So, to give an example of how it is being used, for example, in singing circles, and people gather together and then they sing these mantras together. And they're all kind of mantras that people sing, also ones including phrases with I am. So they say, I am love, I am peace, I am beautiful, I am blessed. And many people use affirmations to speak things into existence. And these affirmation phrases are, for example, things like, I am abundant, I am love. And they are used to create a reality that reflects those truths. And it is used to center yourself and connect you to divine consciousness. What it means is when you say I am, you are declaring your identity, your essence, and your creative power. I am is not just a phrase, but it is a state of being. When you imagine yourself as the person you want to be and you feel the reality of that, you are declaring the I am. If you say, I am abundant, and truly feel abundant, the universe will reflect that abundance back to you. And if you say, I am healthy, and you believe that, your body will align with that health. But also, it works the other way around. If you say, I am not good enough, or I am unworthy, then you're using the same creative power to manifest lack and limitation. Think about this for a moment. How often do you unconsciously say things like, oh, I am tired, or I am broke, I am not good enough, this or that will never happen, this is too complicated. But these are not just casual statements, they are creative declarations. And the power of I am doesn't discriminate, it brings into existence whatever you attach to it, whether it's positive or negative. So, this is what is believed in spiritual teachings. But what does the Bible say about this I am thing? So, I was in church for 35 years and I left the church and then I met many spiritual people and I learned a lot from seeing what they do, talking with them. But the first time I hear them saying things like I am, just the thing I am, I was so confused because I thought, hey, I don't know if you know, but according to my knowledge, you are talking about God. Because God is the I am. So how does that work? They use it, Christians use it. Help. So how does it work? Well, let me break this down for you. We're gonna look in the Bible, and the verses that I mention, I write them down in the description of this episode. So if you want to dive into it deeper, you can look them up. First of all, one of the most pivotal moments in the Bible is when God speaks to Moses from the burning bush. And Moses asks God, "What shall I say to the children of Israel? Who should I say sent me?" And God responds with, "I am that I am. Tell them, I am has sent you." And this declaration is profound because God doesn't identify here with a specific form or name, but instead he declares his eternal, unchanging presence. I am is pure being, it's the essence of existence itself. From a spiritual perspective, I am represents the divine presence within us all. When we say I am, we are speaking the name of God and activating the creative power within. So we activate God within us, as I am is the foundation of all creation. Whatever follows those words becomes your reality because I am declares your state of being. And it's not only spiritual or Christian thought, it's just also common sense. If you speak things about yourself all the time, you will activate it, you will bring it into existence. It's just how life works. I think we all know that. If I'm gonna wake up and say the whole day to myself, oh, I feel so unhappy today, well, it's never gonna happen that I will feel happy at the end of the day because I spoke these words into existence the whole day. And it also reminds me of these things that you're sometimes really good at some skill or a trick or something in sports, and you feel confident about it and you like it and you're like, hey, I own this, I can do this, I'm good at this. And then when you have to show it to someone and there's pressure, you're gonna start to doubt. And then or sometimes you're also gonna say, I don't know, I'm not that good, and you're gonna be shy about it. Then 9 out of 10 times it it works out that it doesn't looks as good as when you did it with confidence. And most of the time it goes wrong. It even goes wrong. And I think we all know these things. So it's also just common sense that how you speak about yourself, how you feel about yourself, it's gonna reflect in reality. But let's move to the New Testament. Jesus repeatedly uses the phrase I am to describe himself. There's a moment when he says, "Before Abraham was, I am." And this statement caused an uproar because Jesus was claiming the divine name here. And he wasn't just referring to his physical existence, but he was identifying with the eternal presence of God. But he said it, I am. And he also says, I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life. I think if you are in church, you heard these phrases so many times. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. Do we actually know what Jesus is saying with these things? What does it mean to be the light of the world? Let's think about it. What does it mean? And maybe these things mean something different than we think. Because bread symbolizes sustenance and nourishment. Spiritually, this means that the divine within you, your I am presence, is the ultimate source of nourishment and fulfillment. When you align with the divine, you will never feel empty or hungry or lacking because the I am sustains you. The I am will feed you spiritually. And with I am the light of the world, Light symbolizes clarity, truth, and guidance. So Jesus is showing us that the divine power within us has the ability to illuminate our path, dissolve confusion, and lead us toward truth and purpose. So when you declare, I am the light, you are affirming that you have the power to bring clarity and positivity to your life and the world, and that you can shine your light over things. I am the resurrection and the life is also something Jesus is saying. A resurrection represents renewal, transformation, and overcoming death or limitation, what is also a form of death. And life represents the vitality and creative energy of God. And Jesus is teaching that the divine I am within you can resurrect any part of your life that feels broken, lost, or stagnant, and that it is possible to breathe new life into it. And each time Jesus uses I am, he is showing us how to align with divine power or God, how you want to call it, I don't care. But he is teaching us that we are co-creators with God and that your inner beliefs shape your outer reality. As the Bible states, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So pay attention to what you say after you use the words I am. Are your words affirming your divine nature or are they limiting you? For example, instead of saying, oh, I am exhausted, try saying, I am energized. Woo! Shift your focus to what you want to create. It's not going to help you to feel exhausted all the time. So just feel the energy of being energized and see what happens. And the Bible says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. It means that the words you speak with your tongue can create or destroy. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. It is so powerful if you know this. So every time you say, I am, blah, 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 you are creating something. You are speaking something into existence. So this is why it is so crucial to be intentional with your declarations. So once again, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words have the power to build or destroy, to bless or to curse. And it's with everything. It's how you speak about yourself, but also how you speak about life, how you speak about people, the people around you, with everything. The words you speak are the law for your life. With the words you speak, you create the rules for your own life. Think of these things that you might say, like this XYZ thing always happens to me. I cannot find the job I want. I am tired all the time. I have a weak body. I always have injuries. All these things are shaping the laws of your life. So mind what you are saying and make sure that you create a law that you like. But maybe you really think that you are weak. And it's so in your unconsciousness already that it seems really difficult to start to believe new things about yourself. But the Bible tells us in this verse, let the weak say, I am strong. And this is a powerful reminder that you can speak life into any situation. This tells us, let the weak people say, I am strong. So when you declare I am, you are not just describing yourself, but you are creating yourself. Even in moments of doubt and struggle, you still have the power to declare a new reality through the words I am. No matter how weak you will feel, you can turn it into feeling strong. And whatever you desire to be, you must claim it as your truth by saying I am. If you want to experience abundance, declare I am abundant. And if you seek healing, affirm I am whole and healthy. Just stop with confirming all the time that you need to be healed. You are already healed. And consider this verse in the Bible in Romans 4, which says that God calls those things which do not exist as though they did. So by speaking as though what you desire is already true, you bring it into existence. And again, it can feel difficult if your reality is showing you something else. I am aware of that, and I struggle with that myself too. But as Jesus says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Jesus himself is telling us this. So you are more powerful than you have ever imagined. And within you lies the same creative force that spoke the whole universe into being. The same I am that declared light and brought it forth. As we can read in Genesis, where God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, easy like that. He brought it from darkness to light. And this power dwells in you right now. Every moment of your life, you stand at the threshold of infinite possibility. The words I am are not just a description of existence, they are the very keys to creation. And when you declare I am, you are shaping the substance of your reality, molding the unseen into the seen. This is also something the Bible confirms. So think of this: when God said, "Let there be light," he spoke from the I am, and he declared it, and it became. So you are made in his image, you are made in God's image, have the same divine power to speak light into the darkness of your life. So whatever you face today, challenges, doubts, fears, know this, that you can speak a new reality into existence. The things that feel dark in your life can be changed to light. For me, sometimes this is difficult to understand because I've been taught and I believed the biggest part of my life that everything is in God's hands and that I am dependent on God's grace for everything in my life, and I can pray and ask, but everything is in God's hands. And that is what I always believed. But since I left the church, I became to know more and more that it's not only God. I still believe in God and in God's force and in his plan and in his blessings for my life. But I also still believe more and more that we are co-creating with God, and that the force outside of us that God has is also inside of us. So it is, and I say this before because I really believe this, as above, so below, as within, as without. And Jesus also says this. He says, "Is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods." Jesus says here that we are gods. And he reminded us that we are not separate from God. We are not separate from the divine. We are expressions of it. So the power is also inside of us. In the spiritual world, many people speak about healing all the time. Everyone seems to be on a journey to heal themselves from traumas from their childhood, but also traumas from past lives and convictions, struggles, etc. But in the moment that you are healing all the time, with that you also declare that you are broken. But I believe that we are not. We are not weak. We are not broken. That is not how we are made. Because the Most High made us. And He made us endowed with His power, His love, and His creative ability. And it is already here, everywhere. God is outside of you, in the people around you, but also in nature. It is everywhere. You just have to start seeing it, and it's also inside of you. And although in church they don't really teach us this, but the Bible also reminds us that God's presence is not just outside of us, it is within us. And throughout the Bible, there are verses that I want to mention. The first one is, "I have said, you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High." The second one is, "Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit." So as you go through your day, remember this: God's power is not only outside of you, but it is within you. And God says so himself in the Bible many times. It even says that our body is the temple of God. that is where He lives. And the kingdom of heaven is also not some far off place after life. No, it is also right here, it is within you. And this Christ consciousness, the divine spark, the eternal I am, resides in your very being. When Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, He was not only revealing His divine identity, but inviting us to discover our own. When He said, I am the bread of life, He reminded us that our spirit is nourished by the truth of who we are. And when He declared, I am the resurrection and the life, He showed us that no matter what has fallen in our lives, no matter what dreams seem dead, we have the power to rise again. You too are the resurrection and the life. You too are the way, the truth, and the light for your journey. So look at your life not as a series of random events, but as a masterpiece being painted by the hands of God, with you as His co-creator. So when your world feels heavy and depressing, lift your eyes to this truth. And when you start to doubt and you have all these negative thoughts, then silence that with your I am statements. And I personally believe that from the moment you really feel that you are not disconnected from the creating force in this life, and I call that God, but you can call it whatever you want, but that you are a part of that. And when you really feel that divinity and the love of God within you, things will start to change. If there's a moment you doubt the power of yourself, then I want to remind you of Jesus saying this: Whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these. And Jesus did some amazing things if we have to believe the Bible. So imagine that you have the same power and even greater, because He says so. So it means we, you, I, everyone is super powerful. We only have to start believing that. And with that in mind, I want to close the podcast for today. And I wish you a wonderful day. Mind the words you speak, as every word you speak works as a prayer. Thank you for being here today and sharing this journey with me. Next episode, I'm going to talk about astrology in the Bible. And astrology is always something that has been put away as occult by the church. But maybe the Bible is actually speaking about things like astrology. But we're going to dive into that next episode. I hope to see you then. Bye bye.